Let me first appreciate you. And I can tell you, I know what quality questions are. When you were asking, I was nodding within me. Yeah, because it also shows that, the kind of qualities of the people who are actually represent us in the field of journalism. Before I go further, I'm a debtor to one of our newspapers company here, so I was to pay. All I was trying to do is not to change a very particular publisher, so that I won't do something lesser than what I do for others. I don't make my promise with them. So very soon I will be closed now. So the person should just rest his mind. You said it all, and the first question that bothers how I'm actually settling down in APC. I need to say this categorically today, because most of these questions will not be understandable if I provide response to them without those of us sitting down here having the understanding of how I actually come into politics. I am not an over-ambitious person, and I will never be, but I've come to work for the people, not to enrich myself. And for that singular reason, I surrendered myself to the people. I won't be the one to decide on which position I have to contest. I will always wait for my people to say, we want you to do this. So as I sit down here, I don't have any ambition to contest anything for now. And it is not necessary for somebody to begin to think about what position you want to contest in the nearest future when INEC has not said that these positions are now vacant for people to contest, and the political party has not come up to say you can come to buy for. I think it's sheer not having something to do for somebody to begin to think about that, because only God knows tomorrow. Nobody can tell whether he's going to live beyond this year. Anything. So you only do the right thing at the right time. Occupy yourself with what is important at that very particular time. That is why in every risk assessment you do concerning your life, your business, your family affairs, you must set priorities. And when you misplace those priorities, you can never get it right. Even when you get into that election in the nearest future, because you didn't plan well, you're bound to fail. But let me just say this before I begin to answer that. I wouldn't have been in politics. God called me, and I know what I'm talking about. I've challenged so many people that they come across me to say that if you are an Ifa priest or you are a Christian or Muslim, go and consult what you believe in. And if telling you that God said I should go and serve my people is not what you hear there, then don't follow me, don't support me. But of 10, I never saw 2 of them that left me today. So conviction that they were convinced the action, I came through the inspiration of God. And to cut it short, I came in, and God said, don't let your people know your capacity, because I will want you to know those that stand firm in the interest of the people, and those that are there that never wanted the progress of the people. Then when I started, I acted by what God told me, and I was able to see their best. I saw people that tomorrow they will never change. They want to stay in politics because of just themselves alone. They don't care about others. They don't care about the society. They don't care about how the country can develop. And where are they today? And God said, this set of people, my son, their political careers will go underground. But for those that have in mind for my people to be liberated from nakedness, they may not have heard about them, but you begin to hear their name politically. And we started saying, some, if they don't change, from thinking about themselves alone, in this present Africa where people are suffering, people don't have food to eat, their political career will go underground, will never rise. Amen. Now, I was in PDP, and I was never ambitious about it. The because I know by virtue of where God placed me today, what am I going to do in the House of Representatives? I needed a place where I can have the full power to be able to cause a change. Yes, House of Representatives can be there, you move some bills that can help you. But again, you have to start somewhere where you can actually impress your way with that power. But that place is not enough. But because of the fact that things worked the way God told me to move, it was from PDP that they came to call me that I should come and contest the position of expensive. I did that your whole life. And that was why, as at that time, I didn't have the choice of the political party I should go. There was no assessment of all the political parties to actually determine which I should go. But God started the journey. At the end of the day, with all I went through in that party, God said, son, I didn't have intention of you becoming anything in that place. I only used that place to set the future for you. And it ended there. But again, something happened in the party. Of all the leaders in the party, you hardly find two of them that are friends. They are all cats and mouse. They never loved each other. But then when I came in, because I just felt that I should do the right thing. I came from the civil service into the military, accounting, audit, legal, firm management, consulting, international companies, and the top today. I said I have a lot of experiences here and there. And I felt that by virtue of my training and discipline in me, we should go through the right way of doing things. You don't have to jump over the people you met. You have structure in the political party from the ward level to the local government to the state. Now, in my own local government, Akure, who are the leaders? I was able to identify the leaders. And I felt that naturally, those leaders would remain my mentors and my coach. But unfortunately, in the course of relating with them, the first failed me. The test of being followed. The second failed me. But I didn't understand the third one very well. And I keyed into him, believing that doing that can give more power, enough for us to be able to change it. Along the line, all the others and their followers naturally, or rather, just turned themselves to be my enemy because I was following one that I felt that I could follow them. And so I began. I had a lot of enemies, people that I never offended before, because I was relating with one. And I discovered that that very particular political party and the people heading it in my local government were not doing well. They are even brothers from the same time. And it was not possible for me, by virtue of the discipline in me, to bypass my local government and go and pick another leader in another local government. I don't think it's the right thing. But I kept managing the situation. The first election I contested, because God never said, do not go. God just said, once they call you, go. And I began to do what I needed to do. I went into that election. One of the meetings I had with the elders of both Akure and Akure, one of the elders, highly qualified, professionally qualified, reputable person, opened his mouth in one of the meetings and said, it is not your qualification, it is not what you are. Once you have the money to contest this election, we'll pick you. I became disappointed because God said, do not let them know your capacity. Until today, that leader is from Akure. I will never reckon with him for that statement he uttered that time. Because how can somebody of that high level, that has attained that high level of education, I won't mention his name, who open his mouth to say that your qualification, your competencies, your experience, your connection, your experience does not matter when we begin to think about who represents the people in national assembly. I felt disappointed. But I didn't react. All they did then, go and bring bank draft to come and show you have money to contest the election. Everything. I fulfilled all the conditions. But even then, reluctantly, I was reacting because I never wanted them to know that I could fulfill all they were asking. Trying to discourage them. They forced those things to happen. I wanted to tell them that, look, you don't need this. If you wanted to run this election, I'm ready to deposit 50% of it, non-refundable. So whoever win that election should use that money. They refused because they were having somebody in mind they actually wanted, and they lost that opportunity. I managed to crawl, and I can tell you, I have more experience than most of them. If I had gone through the civil service, I had gone through the military, I had gone through, I'm a lawyer, I've gone through, some of them have been just remaining in one profession, they don't even have exposure. I've done research in almost every part of the world. And for me to be with an international oil company, you know what it means. You are here, instead of you to allow this man to speak so that you can gain more, you wanted to bury him, and you are bringing somebody. And that's where we are today. I managed them. But at the end of the day, in the first primary election, of about 20 or 22 of them, only 2 supported me. Or 3. 2 from Akure South, 1 from Akure. And I will live to remember them forever, irrespective of whatever the situation may be now. I will live to remember them for doing that. We went into the primary. I got disappointed by the reaction of the person that I even felt that I could work with. At the scene of the primary, where he said they should not vote for diamond. But with that, I won the election. But I forgive him because I felt he didn't know so much about me then. I began to manage it. We campaigned together. I lost the election. 2-3 months after another primary, they were supposed to just say, look, we've seen this guy. He has all the qualities. Let us give him automatic ticket to go. This same person that I had very close to me, the only person that because of the one others hated me, went to Ondo with them to have meetings. They had a meeting, concluded the meeting that they will not give me the second chance. He did not come to tell them. And this is the same person they were using my name to call. Using his own name to call. People need to know this because we need to say so that we don't change. And I came back. Primary took place. Here, the screaming noise. And I was happy. Because I felt that I wouldn't leave primary 6 to come back to primary 1. But I knew that it was just the foundation of my trying to understand what politics is and what I need to know to cause that change for which God has sent me. I didn't get angry. This same person did not come back to tell me and pray here that the meeting they had, they said they won't pick me up. And this is the same person that everybody saw me in. And what I did that because I never wanted Akure to have cracks. Not because I didn't understand what was going on. I came back. And immediately after that, I began to work on the success of the party. And I can tell you, God, the living God who sent me to come and fight for the freedom of men, is hearing me right now. The 3 candidates that they picked in PDP, I voted them. Not because I knew they were going to win, but because of the daylight, so that if I need to swear or say that I did not betray PDP to the last day I needed that. And I did that, whatever. So, what do I need to say again? To talk about my name being put in presidential campaign committee that nobody ever invited me for one meeting for. Because you need to know why I left the party. Presidential campaign committee member should be moving around with others, campaigning through the 18 local governments. They only called me for the one of our president. They did not call me for others. so that Adu doesn't become more popular. Presidential campaign committee member, that even when you were campaigning in Akure here, some of us will not wear Babari to join them on the stage. We have to sit down somewhere, like a driver that brought something. Having contributed millions of naira to make sure that they something. Because some people felt that we didn't need to be known. If you hate your fellow person, especially that person that God has set aside, you are killing yourself. And I want people to understand that through this interaction today, that there are certain individuals that actually have their own destiny spelled out for success in life that no human being can stop. When that person is taken from the back and brought ahead of you, if you decide to envy him or you decide to work against, it's not the one you are working against, you are working against God. And you know for you to fight against God, you go down. So that is why I can never be jealous of anybody, because the first thing that will occur to me is that, you might be one of the guys. In fact, God must have positioned you. I don't envy anybody. Even if you are junior to me anywhere, you just suddenly come ahead of me, I will begin to call you sir, because I understand how God works. There are certain individuals that ever before they were giving birth to, God had actually promised his parents that of your family, I am going to raise one of your offspring. As a result of that good deed you have done, maybe 40 years after, if such an individual come up today and election is next week, pick up a form that he wants to contest. If it's there, based on that God's promise for that individual, if they are 20, that person will be there. God knows how. That's why when people come around, hey, I want to win, and start carrying people, killing themselves, causing confusion. They did not even seek the face of God. God is in my way. Some people are supposed to be selling minerals, they are selling beer. They will remain here, they will never make profit and be able to buy it. Except they go through the right path. Why must you go and start running after I want to be God, I want to be this, when you will not even see the face of God? So I understand why, and I understand how God works. I began to panic there. But they thought people that I'm supposed to be telling how to live their life, how to do this, and they thought they were wiser than me. I kept quiet, managing them. And what happened? Somebody was sorry. Political party members, political party affairs in my own jurisdiction. They had a meeting about how to conduct election, share the money and everything. Nobody invited me. But they could remember me when they needed money to do something. All these things offend me. But now, as a manager, of which I am, at every stage, you must have a plan for reassessing everything you are doing. Not only on a regular basis, it could also be as a result of unexpected events. You just have to reassess it. And I sat back. I've been in this party. We've come this, and I tell you one thing. After they've done that for me at that second primary, they used their own human power without considering God's power. I did not take offense, but I said I will be there to support that party and see whether the presidential candidate can win, so that from Akure here, at least we will have one of our brothers that man will support to become the governor. But I felt disappointed because as I was lubricated, I successfully lubricated. But God himself was washing their own attitude. God now said, okay, I will show to you that this boy is not sent. They got their result. And so I sat back, carried out the assessment, and I said, should I continue to stay in this party or I take a step forward? So many things cropped up from our assessment. I had my own developed matrix that I used The first is this: all the leaders in that party can never come together, at least for the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. They are enemies to the core because of their selfish interests. This same individual that is servant, with all this he has done, should I continue? My glory cannot be under that person that I feel I can do better. Let him continue. Let me continue. I should have even managed to say by saying, okay, let me stay on. Why he stays on it? But that wasn't my own primary reason of coming into political party. I come because of the people. And I cannot achieve that here if I don't work with the people. Who are the people to work with in that place? I couldn't find any of that. By virtue of their character, their disposition. It now occurred to me that the ruling party is there. I also have some of my brothers there. If what I'm doing in PDP, I can continue to do that in APC, even if it's just to support my people, so that they can support our leaders that are in APC, to ensure that they gain more recognition and they can be given some level of powers through some offices for them to be able to work for people without me benefiting anything. It will be better in that place than for me to stay in a place where, from what I'm seeing, there is nobody you can work with. That was what informed my living for APC. Not because I was ambitious, not because I needed anything. There was nothing I would have gotten in APC that I wouldn't get in PDP. But with the way they were doing, no matter what I would have done, it would have been difficult for me to achieve that. Because you can't, one person cannot stay in the midst of 10, 15 people who are never friends, who can never help you, and you achieve it. So that was exactly why. And I need to let the world know too that I am a politician for everybody, not just for some certain people. But I will be loyal to the political party I belong. But I can never be loyal to anything that is not right. I can never be loyal to anything that will not be in the interest of the people. I have come to cause a change. The change is that the best should represent them. That is when this country can be better positioned. So that's about that. And I can tell you, if anybody is asking how, whether I'm getting, whether I'm settling down in APC now or not, the answer will be that I did my infection very well. The party leaders all killed. People that followed me to APC, they were bedded into their various wards. Today, we are talking about APC leaders in Akure and Ondo State. At least, by the time you mention 50 names, you mention Adu.
Please celebrate him, celebrate him, celebrate him.
So, I'm properly integrated into APC. And all I keep looking forward to is the best that will come out of APC in the interest of the people, not in the interest of Adu. So that's about that. On the issue of the state political crisis, from what I've just said, you can infer so many things. You know what? In this country, people will not want to tell the truth. But Adu is a different person. I don't need to be a governor to feed myself. I don't need to be anything to be what I should be in this world. I am not a sycophant of anybody. And I will tell the truth. What you see in Ondo State, it did not start from Ondo State. It is a national problem. It is a constitutional problem. It is a legal problem. For me, if I have the opportunity of either repealing, suspending, causing modification in some of all, even repealing some of the laws we have, one thing that I will mention here is how do people hold elected positions? And what are the conditions that will guide every individual that holds those political positions? Ranging from salaries related, health, leave, accommodation, transport, feeding and everything. It must be clearly stated in a way that will not make us look like we are using sledgehammer to kill Muslims. Now, the cost of governance in Nigeria is outrageous. The money we are supposed to be using to develop our resources, roads, and everything is what we are wasting in government. We all know that. So, why must an individual have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5 cars, including before even when he's going on entering to do something? I've never seen that in all the developed countries I've ever been to. The prime minister of a country will enter this place the way we go. If there's anybody that is following, they come with their own official vehicles or their own private vehicles. Because even our police system in this country is upside down. Rather than policing the streets and everywhere to ensure that there is no crime, that anybody can just enter his car without having soldiers and everything, we abandon that. But we prefer to carry 20, 50 soldiers to be guiding one person. If somebody is holding political position or elected position and is sick, what are the laws that guide that? Legally, if somebody is working in a particular area, they say for so long period of time he's sick, he cannot come to work, you will pay full salary. When it's prolonging to so number of months, you pay half salary. And when it prolongs to so number of time, the law, when it prolongs to so number of time, you stop paying, you retire that person and pay. In Nigeria today, we start from the regime of Buhari. We all are aware, and I can tell it anywhere I go. I challenge them when I was in PDP. Tell Buhari to come out, read his brief, let journalists stay in front of him and ask him questions. If they can answer that question in alignment with the brief he read to us. There was no mental capability for almost the last 3 or 4 years of this country. And so many presidents then were running this country. I still challenge anybody to challenge me on that.